Hi, greetings. Welcome back to the Drummond channel. It's Tuesday, February 6th, and this is an update going into about 3:30 on the East Coast. Markets have been trading sideways in the indexes all day, and thought we'd get an update on a daily, weekly, monthly basis of crude oil, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. The yen trade is tracking. Price is balanced. There was the bounce started in the yen, I should say. If you were lucky enough to get into that, you probably have a stop up above break even at this point, and I'll get back into that probably tomorrow and see if we can update the targets for the week. So let's get started with the NASDAQ. So taking a broader view of the NASDAQ, it's pretty easy to see that the monthly is pushing higher. We have the quarterly peeled out. You can see that moving higher. You can see the yearly right here moving higher, and we've run into the yearly envelope top. Now is that it? So which one of these is going to give way? Is it going to be the envelope top and start to contain prices on the upside, or are all these different PL dots pushing up? Are they going to start to break through that resistance area? And over here in the middle on the weekly chart, I had a good PL dot refresh on a weekly chart last week, and prices ended up in a C wave to the upside. And so far this week, price has been contained inside the envelope, but there's a lot of week left, and you can see that the PL dot's still pushing up on the weekly chart, and now we have price sitting on top of the monthly envelope top. So there are a couple layers, a couple levels of support, and then of course we're getting up here into the oncomings, zone 5, zone 6. So there's a resistance up above and support down below, and we need to dig into the daily chart and see if we can figure out which way to anticipate this market going. And on the right here on the daily, first up, you see this wall that had been forming up until this point, and now the wall has moved up. So looking at this area, and this area, 18,000 is kind of the target this market is throwing out there. And whether we're going to get there right away or not, I don't think so on the daily chart. I think the daily chart is showing us the weakness, and probably, and let me clean this up a minute. So on the daily chart, we've been in congestion for some time now, and depending on where we close today, this price may close underneath the PL dot and just continue to push down a little bit lower. I think weekly envelope bottom is the target for this week before a move higher would start to manifest. So this is kind of what I'm expecting. We'll see how that plays out. Again, the daily's been in congestion, and the weekly has moved inside the envelope, and we're in an area higher time period resistance. So what we expect to see is prices vibrate around this area sandwiched in between higher time period support and higher time period resistance. And I don't think the daily weakness is done yet. And now moving on to crude oil, this is an interesting junction here. Inside this rectangle, we have a quarterly PL dot just above prices, monthly PL dot above prices, and then the yearly PL dot coming in here supporting prices. So we're in a weekly tug of war. You can see this on the middle chart here. We've been in weekly congestion, and right now it's a weekly cycle down, and so the weekly is cycled down towards its envelope bottom, and prices are so far been contained by the oncoming. And then when you look over here on the daily chart on the right, the daily's moved inside the envelope, so the oncoming held. Today the spike is holding. Assuming we get a close in this area, we're going to be up above the daily PL dot. So oil is going to start a weekly cycle back up towards first the PL dot, monthly PL dot, and then upside target is the weekly envelope top. So we're in congestion, and we're just expecting this congestion to keep going and play out up towards the weekly envelope top, and then we'll see how the daily reacts to that envelope top, and should the daily find some support, where we have this weekly PL dot, monthly PL dot, the daily PL dot moves up into this area, then we're looking at a triple dot push, and that might be enough energy to get this market to start to break above the monthly envelope top. Now, lastly, on the S&P mini, it sounds like a broken record here. Look at the monthly PL dots pushing up in a nice straight line. Same thing here on the weekly chart. So the trend in this market is up, and these oncomings, just like on the NASDAQ, are starting to throw targets out here. And so we're seeing targets around 5,050, 5,100, and will we get there immediately, or we're going to have some daily weakness like we saw in the NASDAQ? And like the NASDAQ, the weekly has moved inside its envelope. It's holding here in the oncoming, and maybe get down here and hold in the spike area. The daily chart exhausted up into here and is now moved inside its envelope, and it's holding in the spike area today. Should we get a close down below this PL dot, then we can expect this daily chart, or the daily chart, to start pushing down here towards this weekly PL dot, or again the weekly envelope bottom. So the lower time period on the daily is going to show us what's going on. And again, if we get the daily prices holding in this area, closing down, and then getting the center point, these red marks, when they start to shift and they move up above the price, now we've got more confirmation that weekly PL dot or weekly envelope bottom is what we anticipate. So I hope that helped. I hope that answered some questions for these markets. Again, the trend seems to be still strongly up, and a reversal, yeah, maybe not. But right now, there's a little bit of weakness on the daily chart, and I think that's going to play out, and then we'll see higher prices before maybe topping out. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll get to them. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.